There's a huge rock wall has been found in the Colombian Amazon, Serenia de Lindosa, which I'm hoping to get to this year. 8 kilometers long, covered in rock paintings. The rock paintings are dated more than 12,000 years old.
What if ancient cave paintings deep in the Amazon aren't just about animals and rituals, but hide a message so profound it could change the way we see human history? Join us on a journey through time as we uncover the secrets of ancient cave paintings and rock art.
I think this is a very reasonable and very fruitful explanation for the cave art, that it is mankind's earliest documentation of contact with supernatural realms and beings.
From the towering mastodons of Serenia de Lindosa to the sacred jaguars of Chiribiquete in the Amazon, we'll explore their stories. But that's not all. We'll also travel to places like Algeria, Indonesia, and India to discover other incredible ancient paintings. What do they reveal? What secrets have they kept hidden for centuries? Let's dive into the mysteries left behind by our ancestors. 1. Serenia de Lindosa. In the heart of the Colombian Amazon, hidden far from the modern world, lies an incredible archaeological find, the ancient cave paintings of Serenia de Lindosa. These stunning artworks, painted over 12,000 years ago, stretch across an 8-mile-long cliff, showing a world at the end of the Ice Age. But these aren't just simple drawings. They show giant animals like mastodons, giant ground sloths, and an ancient relative of the llama called a paleolama. These creatures, long extinct, once roamed the earth, and early humans hunted them. Imagine animals the size of cars, wandering freely while humans chased them with spears. The detail in these paintings brings that ancient world to life. And it's not just the animals that grab attention. Some humans in these paintings are wearing masks, and others seem to be jumping from tall structures. Were these people involved in some kind of ritual, or were they just celebrating? We might never know for sure. However, many experts believe these paintings hint at early forms of spirituality, perhaps showing rituals that connected humans with the natural world around them. These images also tell a story about change. As the Ice Age ended, the Amazon transformed from wide-open savannas into the dense rainforest we know today. The paintings might capture this shift, showing humans witnessing their old world disappear and a new one emerges. Yet, despite all this, these ancient treasures are under threat. The site is hard to reach, and for years, political unrest in Colombia kept scientists away. Only after a 2016 peace treaty were researchers able to begin studying these artworks in detail. Even now, there's so much left to uncover, hidden in the thick jungle. The most intriguing part is that many of these paintings remain a mystery. Why are some humans leaping from high places? Why the strange masks? These unanswered questions make the Serenia de Lindosa site all the more fascinating. And just when you think it couldn't get any more interesting, another nearby site, even more mysterious, draws us deeper into the jungle. 2. Chiribiquete National Park. Further into the Amazon lies Chiribiquete National Park, home to one of the largest collections of ancient rock art in the world. Some of these paintings are over 20,000 years old, offering a window into a time when humans and nature were intertwined in deeply spiritual ways. While the artwork in Chiribiquete also showcases animals, these creatures seem to be more than just part of the landscape. Jaguars, caimans, and monkeys appear with a sense of reverence as if they were sacred. The jaguar especially stands out, often shown in ritual scenes. It seems to symbolize power and spiritual connection, which is why the park is called the Sacred Land of Jaguars. Adding to the mystery is where these paintings are found, high up on flat-topped mountains called tepuis. These natural fortresses have protected the paintings from the weather for thousands of years, keeping them in remarkable condition. Unlike Serenia de Lindosa, Chiribiquete is almost completely inaccessible to the public. Only a few researchers have ever set foot there, and much of the artwork remains unseen by most of the world. This secrecy only deepens the mystery. Why was the jaguar so important to these ancient people? What role did shamanic rituals play in their lives? the more we learn, the more questions arise. Were these people warning us about the dangers of the jungle? Or were they leaving clues to their complex belief systems, hoping future generations would understand? As the Amazon continues to hide its ancient secrets, the paintings of Chiribiquete remind us of how little we know about the past. And just beyond its sacred walls, another hidden site might hold even more revelations, waiting to be discovered. 3. Monte Allegre Caves. As we move deeper into the Amazon's hidden wonders, yet another discovery has stunned archaeologists: the Monte Allegre Caves in Brazil. While we've marveled at the spiritual connection and artistry in places like Chiribiquete, the Monte Allegre Caves reveal even more about the rich history of early humans in this vast, mysterious jungle. Tucked away in the hills of northern Brazil, these caves are part of the Serra do Ararai region, overlooking the Amazon River. Here, we find some of the earliest evidence of human life in the Amazon, going back over 11,000 years. Far from being empty and untouched, the Amazon was home to vibrant communities long before European explorers ever set foot here. These caves hold incredible artwork, offering a glimpse into the everyday lives, beliefs, and rituals of these ancient people. The paintings are simple yet powerful. Human figures are often shown in action, hunting, gathering, and performing ceremonies. Alongside them, animals from the Amazon, such as large mammals and birds, appear on the cave walls. These creatures weren't just part of their physical world, they were central to their spiritual and cultural lives. But what grabs attention in the Monte Allegre caves are the mysterious geometric shapes, spirals, lines, and circles. These symbols suggest that these early people didn't just live in the jungle, they might have been connected to the stars and nature's cycles in ways we don't fully understand. Some experts think these shapes could be linked to celestial events, showing that these early societies had a sophisticated knowledge of the world around them. Were these patterns part of shamanistic rituals, or did they mark important changes in the seasons? We may never know for sure, but one thing is clear: these shapes carry deep cultural meaning. The artwork also reflects the animals that lived in the Amazon at the time, animals that were vital for survival. This shows that the people of Monte Allegre didn't just exist in the jungle, they thrived in it, developing a unique relationship with their environment that helped them survive for thousands of years. But even though this discovery is so important, the Monte Allegre caves face threats today. Erosion, human activity, and climate change are damaging the artwork. Brazil has created Monte Allegre State Park to protect these cultural treasures, but the work of preserving them is ongoing. Archaeologists like Anna Roosevelt, who brought global attention to the caves, have shown that the Amazon wasn't just a wild, untouched place. It was a thriving center of human culture, filled with creativity and ingenuity. This challenges the old belief that the Amazon was sparsely populated before Europeans arrived. It turns out that these ancient communities were far more advanced than we ever imagined. As we continue to uncover the stories left behind on these cave walls, the Monte Allegre caves remind us of a lost civilization that flourished long before modern times. They still have much to teach us, and who knows what else they might reveal. 4. Indonesian cave paintings. As we leave the ancient caves of Brazil behind, we journey to another corner of the world, Southeast Asia, where more hidden treasures await. In the remote caves of Indonesia, ancient paintings reveal an astonishing story about early human creativity, pushing the boundaries of what we thought we knew. These caves, found in Sulawesi and Borneo, challenge the idea that Europe was the birthplace of early art. Some of these paintings are over 45,000 years old, making them among the oldest known in the world. The Maros Pangkep caves in Sulawesi first gained attention in the 1950s for their prehistoric art, but it wasn't until recent years that scientists, using advanced dating techniques, discovered just how old these paintings are. Some of the hand stencils and animal figures were created more than 40,000 years ago, placing Southeast Asia alongside famous European sites like Lasco and Chave as a hub for early human artistic expression. One of the most striking features of the Sulawesi caves is the hand stencils. Early humans would place their hands on the rock and blow red pigment around them, leaving a clear outline. These handprints are found all over the region, and their vivid reddish-brown color still stands out today. But these aren't just handprints. They likely carried a deeper meaning. Some researchers believe they may have been a way to claim territory, mark identity, or even connect with the spiritual world. The fact that we see them repeated in cave after cave suggests they held special importance, possibly linked to rituals. The animals painted in these caves tell another part of the story. The walls feature creatures like wild pigs and dwarf buffaloes, animals that lived in Sulawesi at the time. Some of these animal paintings are over 45,000 years old, and they show us how important these animals were to the people who painted them. These early humans didn't just see animals as part of the landscape. They likely believed they had spiritual significance and a special connection to their lives. One of the most exciting discoveries in Sulawesi is a painting that shows a hunting scene found in the Lengbulu Sipong cave. It's believed to be the oldest known story scene in the world, showing part human, part animal figures called therianthropes, hunting pigs, and buffaloes. These figures are in motion, telling a story that goes beyond simple drawings of animals or people. This scene hints at complex spiritual beliefs, possibly linked to early forms of shamanism, where humans may have seen themselves as connected to or transformed into animals during rituals. Borneo, another part of Indonesia, has its fascinating cave art. The Sangkulirahat caves in East Kalimantan hold some of the oldest known paintings in Southeast Asia. These include more hand stencils, animal figures, and mysterious abstract symbols, painted with red ochre and sometimes black pigment. Among the animal paintings are wild cattle, showing us that these animals were central to the lives of the people who lived there thousands of years ago. 5. Lasco Cave. Just when it seemed like the mysteries of the Indonesian cave paintings couldn't be topped, the famous Lasco Cave in France brings us something even more incredible. Found in the beautiful Vézère Valley, the Lasco Cave paintings are not only some of the most well-known in the world, but also offer a fascinating look into human life over 17,000 years ago. Discovered by a group of teenagers in 1940, these ancient artworks, painted by early humans during the Upper Paleolithic period, have been a source of wonder ever since. While the Indonesian cave paintings focus on the spiritual and symbolic, the Lasco paintings are all about the animals, wild, powerful, and incredibly lifelike. The walls are covered with images of horses, stags, bison, and aurochs, a type of extinct wild cattle, painted with stunning detail and vibrant colors. One of the most famous parts of the cave, called the Hall of the Bulls, shows a massive bull over 16 feet long. The size and complexity of these paintings are truly amazing, and they show just how skilled and artistic early humans were. The animals weren't just drawn randomly, they seem to have been very important to the people who painted them. Horses make up about 60% of the paintings, often shown running or standing in a realistically. Bison and aurochs are also featured with incredible attention to their fur, muscles, and even the way they moved. Predators like lions and bears also appear, showing the relationship between humans and the wild creatures around them. But Lasco isn't just about animals. There are also mysterious symbols, lines, and dots, as well as rare human figures. One of the most puzzling images is in a part of the cave known as the Shaft of the Dead Man, where a bird-headed human figure lies next to a wounded bison. No one knows for sure what this scene means, but it might be tied to ancient rituals or stories passed down through generations. Some experts even think these paintings could represent early star maps or myths, connecting the people of that time to their surroundings in ways we can only guess at today. As breathtaking as the Lasco Cave is, it has faced some serious challenges. In 1963, the cave was closed to the public because the paintings were being damaged by carbon dioxide and humidity from too many visitors. Luckily, exact replicas like Lasco II and Lasco Farthol have been made, allowing people to see and appreciate these incredible works of art without harming the original cave. 6. Talil Najja. While Lasco takes us deep into prehistoric Europe, there's another place, far away in the middle of the Sahara Desert, that shifts our attention to Africa. This place is Talil Najja in Algeria, and it's not just another collection of ancient art. It's a window into a time when the Sahara wasn't the harsh desert we see today, but a lush, green savanna full of life. What makes Talil Najja even more amazing is that it holds not just a few thousand paintings, but tens of thousands, some going back as far as 12,000 years. Talil Najja sits on a massive plateau, stretching over 72,000 square kilometers, and its rock art tells the story of how the climate, wildlife, and human activities changed over time. In the earliest paintings, from what's known as the Round Head period, we see abstract figures with big heads, which many think were part of religious or shamanistic rituals. Then, in the Bovidian period, we see scenes of people herding cattle, showing that the Sahara was once a fertile land where animals thrived. These paintings are especially unique because they show not just humans, but also animals like elephants, giraffes, and even hippos, creatures we wouldn't imagine living in the Sahara today. As the climate changed and the land became drier, the paintings shifted too. We start to see warriors riding horses and camels, moving through a desert that is becoming harsher and less welcoming. The art of Talil Najja tells the story of how people adapted to this changing world. But like Lasco, these ancient artworks face the threat of erosion. The desert's strong winds, the extreme temperatures, and the tough conditions of the Sahara have worn down some of these masterpieces. Thankfully, efforts are being made to protect them and preserve this important history. Talil Najja's rock paintings don't just show us what life was like for early humans. They remind us that the Sahara was once a cradle of civilization, long before it turned into the barren desert we know today. The blend of beautiful art and the recording of nature and life makes Talil Najja one of the most important prehistoric sites in the world. And yet, there are still more ancient places with stories to tell, like the incredible Bhimbetka rock shelters in India, where prehistoric life is carved into the very stones, revealing its mysteries in vivid detail. 7. Bhimbetka rock shelters. Hidden in the heart of Madhya Pradesh, India, the Bhimbetka rock shelters are some of the oldest pieces of human art we know. These ancient shelters, discovered in 1957 by Dr. Vishnu Wakankar, have paintings that date back tens of thousands of years, giving us a rare glimpse into prehistoric life. Located in the foothills of the Vindhya Mountains, the Bhimbetka shelters show layer after layer of history through their artwork, from the Upper Paleolithic era to more recent times. The oldest paintings, made around 30,000 to 10,000 BCE, show a world full of life. Wild bison, deer, and rhinoceroses move across the walls, reminding us of a time when the forests were thick and animals were everywhere. These early pictures are simple but powerful, showing people's deep connection to survival. As time passed, during the Mesolithic period, between 10,000 to 4,000 BCE, the paintings became more detailed. Human figures started to appear more often, showing people hunting, dancing, and gathering. Clear evidence that society was growing and that people were coming together for rituals and celebrations. The bright red and white colors they used bring these scenes to life, capturing the energy and culture of the time. By the Chalcolithic period, between 4000 to 2000 BCE, we see a big change. Paintings of domesticated animals and farming scenes start to appear, telling the story of how people moved from being hunters to settling down as farmers. The art became more detailed, showing how these early people were closely connected to the land, the animals they raised, and the crops they grew. Even in later times, up until around 1500 CE, the Bhimbetka shelters continued to evolve. Rituals, battles, and celebrations from newer eras were added to the older paintings of wildlife and daily life, blending thousands of years of history into one amazing place. The Bhimbetka rock shelters are not just ancient relics, they're proof of early human creativity, survival, and adaptation. But like many of these ancient sites, they are at risk from natural erosion and human activity. Despite these challenges, the shelters remain a remarkable symbol of our ancestors' connection to art and the world around them. 8. Uia Rock Art. After exploring the ancient art at the Rock shelters in India, our journey takes us to a different part of the world, Australia. Just like in Bhimbetka, where art showed the daily life, spirituality, and survival of early humans, Uia Rock Art in the Northern Territory tells a similar story. It's all about the deep connection between people, animals, and the land. Located in Kakadu National Park, Ubia's high sandstone cliffs are home to paintings that are over 20,000 years old. Here, the indigenous peoples of Australia, especially the Yirrkala and Bininj groups, painted images of kangaroos, turtles, and fish with great care. These animals weren't just food, they were important to the people's spiritual and everyday lives, much like the animals in Bhimbetka's art. But Ubia's art isn't only about animals, it also shows scenes of hunting, dancing, and ceremonies, giving us a glimpse into the traditions of Aboriginal life. Like Bhimbetka, where human figures showed the changes in societies over time, Ubia's paintings express the spiritual beliefs of the people, especially through Dreamtime stories. These sacred stories connect humans to the land and their ancestors. Over time, Ubia's paintings started to show signs of change. When European settlers arrived, new animals and lifestyles began to appear in the art, much like how Bhimbetka's art changed through different periods of history. Today, Uia is still an important cultural site. Just like Bhimbetka, it's protected by heritage laws, and people continue to respect and preserve its ancient art. Visitors can come and experience this rich part of Australia's cultural history, connecting with a past that still has meaning today. But our journey through the world's ancient rock art doesn't end here. Across the ocean in France, there's another incredible site waiting for us. Chave Cave, a place that changed how we understand early human art. 9. Chave Cave Paintings. The Chave Cave, located in the Ush region of southern France, is like a time capsule of art from over 30,000 years ago. It was discovered in 1994 by Jean-Marie Chauvet and his team of cave explorers. Inside, they found some of the most detailed and breathtaking paintings from the Paleolithic era. Unlike other caves, like Lasco, which show herds of animals, Chauvet's walls are filled with predators, lions, bears, and even panthers. These images suggest that early humans may have had a deeper, possibly spiritual connection to the animals around them. The scale of the art in Chauvet is stunning. There are over 1,000 images on the walls, and the artists cleverly used the natural shapes of the rock to give the animals a sense of depth and movement. It feels like the animals are coming to life, caught in action. The artists also used shading, overlapping lines, and perspective techniques that seem surprisingly advanced for such an ancient time. But Chauvet is more than just beautiful art. It gives us clues about the beliefs and rituals of the people who made it. The paintings of predators, the discovery of a cave bear skull placed on what looks like an altar, and the eerie handprints on the walls all suggest that art was tied to spiritual practices, myths, and perhaps early storytelling. To protect these fragile paintings from damage, the cave is now sealed off. However, visitors can still experience a replica at the Caverne de Pont d'Arc, which lets people see what life was like for early humans without harming the original art. But Chauvet is only one part of a much bigger picture. As we continue our journey, we'll head to India's Aravalli Hills, where the ancient art tells a different yet equally fascinating story. 10. Aravalli Hills Cave Paintings. In 2021, an exciting discovery was made in the dense forests of the Aravalli Hills in Haryana, India. Near the Mangarbani area, ancient cave paintings were found, giving us a rare look into the lives of early humans who lived here thousands of years ago. The discovery was made by environmental activist Sunil Harsana, and since then, archaeologists have been studying these artworks, which date back to the Upper Paleolithic period, or maybe even earlier than the famous rock shelters. What makes the Aravalli Hills paintings unique is the mix of human figures, animals, and abstract geometric shapes. Painted in shades of ochre and white, these drawings show people going about their daily lives, animals that might have been important for hunting or spiritual purposes, and detailed patterns that might have had a deeper meaning. The Mangabani caves weren't just a place for art, they were a center of human activity for thousands of years. Archaeologists have also found stone tools nearby, proving that this area was once an important settlement. These early humans weren't just focused on surviving, they were expressing themselves, recording their world, and maybe even communicating through these paintings. The discovery in the Aravalli Hills isn't just about finding ancient art, it's about protecting a vital piece of human history. With urban development getting closer to the site, the Haryana government is working to preserve the area under historical protection laws. As archaeologists continue to explore these caves, the paintings might change what we know about India's prehistoric history. They offer new insights into the lives and creativity of early humans. These caves remind us that the urge to create art and understand the world is something all humans share, no matter where or when they live. As we explore these ancient caves and the art left behind by our distant ancestors, it's clear that creativity, culture, and spirituality have always been at the heart of what makes us human. From the predators painted on the walls of Chave cave to the detailed symbols found in the Aravalli Hills, these timeless pieces of art still speak to us even after thousands of years. But this is just the beginning. There are so many more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. If you're as fascinated by these hidden treasures as we are, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more amazing discoveries. And let us know in the comments, which ancient site would you like to explore next? The journey into the past continues, and we can't wait to take you along.